are doing the third part of the chapter comparing quantities. As if you have watched the earlier videos, the first video would be percentage, second would be profit loss, and the third simple interest and compound interest. It's a very interesting topic and very important for you. You know, tomorrow we will all have accounts, so you need to know some very simple concepts of banking. And the most important part of banking is interest. See, what does the bank do? Bank gives you loan. What is the loan? It lends you, it gives you money. So which means if it gives you money, you borrow the money. So when you borrow money, what do you get? Do you get anything or do you give anything? If you borrow money from a credit card, or say if you take a loan from a bank, or say your friend gives you 100 rupees, you will have to pay him back. What do you want? You will pay him interest with the principal. So when the bank lends, the main function of the bank is to lend or give a loan. So after 1 year, say, you will have to repay the bank. So you will pay him interest. You will pay bank an interest. So interest is what? Principal plus interest, which is the amount. So you pay back the amount to the bank, which is principal plus interest. So just understand the simple concept of interest. However, if you deposit money in the bank, then what happens? If you deposit your own money to the bank, then bank will give you principal plus interest. So you get back your money with the interest. So there are two things here. Bank will give you money, which is when you give your money to the bank, which is a deposit, and you get the money as principal plus interest. However, if you take money from the bank, or say bank lends you the money, then you will have to pay the bank the principal amount plus the interest. So principal plus interest is the amount. And now we will talk about the interest part in this chapter: simple interest and compound interest. So interest is of two kinds: simple interest and compound interest. Let's go through the concept. You get interest from bank on deposit. Bank takes interest from you if you borrow money or take a loan or a credit card, etc. Right? That's what I told you. You get interest from the bank on a deposit, and bank takes interest from you if you borrow money. Yeah, that's what I told you. Interest is received or payable usually after 1 year or more. It could be 1 year at least or more. So you will get interest if you give money to your bank. Yeah? Because bank is to also deposit. It's like a savings account. You have a savings account in bank, so you give your money. So it will give you interest after 1 year. It has a sum which has money borrowed, which is also the principal, at a rate percent, and in a time period 1, 2, 3 years. So which we say as n. So we can say money borrowed is principal. If you take money from the bank at a rate of interest, 10% of 5% whatsoever, at current rate it must be 10%, or say 4% is on savings account, and then in how many years you get the money. So let's understand these two concepts: simple interest and compound interest. So simple interest in 2 years and compound interest in 2 years. So in the formula for simple interest is P into R into T upon 100. You must be aware. Principal into rate of interest into time period upon 100. This R upon 100 is actually the rate of interest. So if it's 10%, it's 10 by 100, right? So you will get 10% interest, so you get 10 by 100. So it's basically principal, which is your money you have taken from the bank, or the money the bank has lent you, or maybe if it's your money, then again it's a principal. You may give 1,000 rupees to the bank, you get the interest. If you take 1,000 rupees from the bank, then you will have to pay back the interest, right? Okay. And so P into R into T upon 100. So in the first year, you will get some. There will be some interest which you will pay to the bank, because here you have borrowed the money from the bank. So this principal plus interest, right? So in simple interest, what happens? Principal will never change. Each year they will be at the same percentage, and another time in say in 2 years, this you will take T over here as 1. That is for first year. Again you will take T as 1 for the second year, right? Or you can say simply you can take P into R. If it's for 2 years, you can simply take 2 here upon 100. Suppose principal was 100 rupees, rate of interest was 10%, 10 by 100 into 2 years. So this is 20 rupees, right? Interest will be 20 rupees. So if you take 100 rupees from bank and bank says now give me the money back, so after 1 year you will pay the bank principal plus interest. So bank will take the money from you as 120 rupees because you have taken a loan of 100 rupees from the bank. This simple concept. So principal never changes in simple interest. However, now I'll explain the same thing with compound interest. See what happens in compound interest. This is the amount. Amount is equal to principal 1 plus r upon 100 to the power of n, which is rate of interest. N is the number of years. Suppose I take a simple example. So 100 rupees we took, 100, 10%. What was the okay, let's take for 2 years. Simple interest, compound interest now, right? So first I take for 1 year. This becomes 10. So this is 10. This is 110. 10 is the interest. So amount is principal plus interest, which is 100 plus 10 is equal to 110 rupees, right? So this 110 rupees, now in the second year what happens? If it was a compound interest, then you can again apply the same formula. I'm just telling you for explanation part. Again the same formula. However, this principal becomes amount for second year in compound interest. So the concept here is that interest through compound interest is always more than the interest through principal. Why? Because if we have to take compound interest for 2 years as compared to simple interest for 2 years, then in compound interest what happens? In the second year, the principal which was same in simple interest is not same in compound interest, because in second year principal plus the interest of the first year, when we add together, again I repeat, principal and the interest of the first year is added, and that becomes the principal for the second year. So this principal is the amount in compound interest. So basically we know principal plus interest is the amount. So this amount 110 became the principal in compound interest, which means each time principal is getting added by the interest of the previous year. So the end result is that the compound interest will give a higher interest as compared to simple interest. We'll do more questions on this, but this was the whole idea. We can understand this. Same thing I have written over here. In compound interest for 2 years, first year amount is equal to principal plus interest first year. In second year, principal is equal to amount of first year, which means if principal is 1, I have taken an example of principal 1, interest in the first year is 1, right? Then principal in the second year in case of compound interest will be 1 plus 1, which becomes 2. So herein, when we have to calculate the amount for 2 years, principal becomes 2, while in simple interest, principal never changed. So principal in compound interest is higher each year. Each successive year principal is getting higher because the previous year interest is getting added to the principal of the previous year, which becomes the new principal for the second year or consecutive years. That is why you will get ultimately a higher interest, right? So this is the whole concept about simple interest and compound interest. And before we do the questions on this important topic, just one thing, that when the bank gives you money, because bank main function is to give money to you, right? So when bank gives you money or it lends money, or say if you borrow money, then you have to repay to the bank. So say if you repay in 5 years, then ultimately whatever money you have taken is the principal from the bank. Bank will calculate the interest in those 5 years. So you have to repay the bank principal which you have taken as loan from the bank, say today, and after 5 years bank will say, okay, now give us the money. So it will take the principal which you have taken from the bank plus interest which the bank did calculate. Maybe it was a simple interest or compound interest, that depends, will be given back to the bank by you. However, if it is your money, because bank is also to keep your money safe, and say you deposit 100 rupees to the bank and you get some interest, so this interest is actually your money because you have given this money to the bank, your money, so bank will repay you then. So these are two things which happens in a banking transaction, or as far as interest is concerned, right students? So I think this was a brief introduction about simple interest and compound interest. When we do the questions, things will be much more clarified, right? Anything? So this is here all about interest And I'm just thinking if anything is not missed. Yeah, so we'll do the questions now. Yeah. So principal remains same in simple interest, principal remains same. See, in 2 years interest is getting added up. So you get the amount, interest 1 plus interest 2 plus basically the principal. So if it was a simple interest, then you can even directly put the formula principal into rate into t, say 2 years upon 100. So whatever you get is the interest, right? And always remember, amount is principal plus interest. So when the money is taken from the bank and bank says, okay, give us the amount back. So basically amount is principal plus interest. Even if it's a simple interest, again the principal which you had taken or the sum borrowed by you from the bank initially or say today, and you have to pay the bank after 2 years. You just add the interest for 2 years plus the principal amount, the loan which you have taken from the bank, and you just add those two and you give it to the bank. That is simple concept of simple interest. In compound interest, each year whatever interest is coming, that is getting added to the principal, right? So if it's 100 rupees and 10 rupees is the interest for 1 year, in compound interest it becomes 110 as principal for the second year. Again, if there is a 10 rupees as interest for the second year, the 110 plus 10 is 120. So 120 becomes the principal for the third year. This is the concept of compound interest and simple interest. In compound interest, as I told to you, each year principal is getting added by the previous year interest. So principal plus interest previous year will become the new principal for the successive years. So ultimately the end result is that through compounding interest, the money which you get from the bank is little higher than the simple interest. We will do some examples to clarify this much further. I tell you each time that concepts and questions are equally important. So I told you the concept. So even if you have a vague idea of simple interest and compound interest, now it will be clarified through this question. So then you just go back and see the concept again. We'll do this question now. So I will tell you compound interest through the simple interest formula and also the compound interest through the amount formula. See, let's see this example and do it. Calculate simple interest and compound interest on a sum of rupees 1000 at 10% per annum for 2 years. Now I told you that compound interest is higher than the simple interest, whatever be the number of years. So let's take a perfect example and let's see how. Let's do by simple interest method first. So P into R into T upon 100 is equal to 1000 into rate of interest is 10 by 100 into time period is 2 years. So this becomes 100 into 2, 200. Suppose this, so if the bank has to pay money to you in 2 years, simple interest, you will get principal plus interest is equal to 1200 rupees. This is, now I am trying to explain the concept of compound interest. Let's take the same example. So now this is compound interest, but let's see how compound interest is different from simple interest. Now for first year what happens? P into R into T upon 100. Principal 1000 into T into now since I am explaining you the concept of compound interest, we will do it individually one by one. So now for first year compound interest 1 upon 100. This is 100 rupees. So what happens in compound interest? This is the interest. So in second year, this is first year. So what happens in the second year? See, beautiful thing which you will come to know. Principal plus interest. I told you the concept. Interest previous year is added. This is the concept to the principal of successive year. So what happens in the second year? Principal will be principal plus interest of first year. let's see how that makes a difference. So it will be 1000 plus 100 is equal to, what was it? 1000, yeah, 1100. This becomes your principal for second year. Again, P into, I'm telling you same formula, how, but it's compound interest. So in compound interest you can apply compound interest in the same formula, but idea is that the principal and interest for the first year will get added and become the new principal for the second year. 1100 into rate of interest, same 10 into time, now 1, because it's 1 by 1 we are doing for 2 years each year. How much? 110, right? So finally how much you get? This is 1000, is it correct? 1000, okay, this 110 you are getting it. So you, how much you get? You will get amount, interest, compound interest equal to amount minus principal. How much is the amount? 110 is added. So principal plus interest, principal is how much? 1000 plus 110, 1110. I'm sorry, I have to 1110. 1100 I took. Okay, fine. So it's 110. So this also gets added. So ultimately, how much is the amount? This is the amount you're getting first. 1100 plus 110. 1210. Amount is 1210. Okay, and here it was 1200. You see the difference in 2 years on the amount? That's basically the amount. Principal plus interest is the amount, right? Principal plus interest. So you see the difference. 1210, here it is 1200, difference of 10 rupees. Because we added in this each successive year, principal is getting added by the interest of the previous year. So this is basically, we understood from this question the concept, and also how in 2 years compound interest is a higher than the simple interest in the same time. Thank you. Let's see what happens. Simple interest is equal to P into R into T upon 100. 1000 into 10 by 100 into 2. This is 200 rupees. What is this? This is the interest, right? Now let's see the formula. Compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. Okay. So what is amount? Principal we know is 1000. What is the amount? We don't know. Amount is equal to the formula. I'm doing with the formula. 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. N is number of years, R is the rate of interest. So principal is how much? 1000. 1 plus 8% is 10 by 100 to the power of 2. This is 1000 into 110 by 100 into 110 by 100. This is 1000 into 11 by 10 into 11 by 10. This 2 zeros cut. This is 121 into 10 into 1200. What is this? This is amount. Amount. Sorry. Amount minus principal is equal to compound interest is equal to amount minus principal is equal to amount is how much? Amount, okay, 1210 minus 1000 is equal to rupees 210. So there is a difference of 10 rupees. This is what I am explaining. How, for an example, how compound interest will give you a higher amount as well as a higher compound interest. in the same with the same parameters. Okay, the difference between the compound interest and simple interest on rupees 1 lakh at 10% per annum for 1 year. Okay, so it is a self-explanatory question. We just have to calculate compound interest and simple interest. Let's take the compound interest first and then simple interest. Compound is equal to amount minus principal. So every time we will need amount will be principal 1 plus r upon 100 to the power n. Here it is 1 lakh. Always write it neatly with some space so that you can calculate. You should not lose marks just because it is not clear to you. What is not you're not written it clearly. So that should not lose marks for you. 10 by 100 to the power of n is 1 here. Okay. Let's open it up because it's only 1 here. It won't be repeated. 110 by 100. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into 11 by 10. Right. So this you can cut. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. That's 1,10,000. This is your amount, but we have to calculate the compound interest. Amount minus principal. See, it's the same thing. This is always write what has to be taken. Compound interest has to be taken first. Write the formula. Then write what is amount was required. What is given, right? What is required, you have in the calculation. Now we just put it in the formula. 1,10,000 minus 1 lakh is equal to 10,000 rupees. This is your compound interest. And simple interest, simply put in the formula is equal to T by 100. What's the principal? 10 by 100 into what is the time period? 1. Simple calculation. 1000 into 10. Is it 10,000, right? This is simple interest. So simple interest is 10,000 and compound interest is also 10,000. Okay, so difference is what it is asked. What he asked? 10k minus 10k. Sorry, you can have to regularly write 10,000, but I'm just doing it for. It's still 10,000, right? Okay, let me write this one. 10,000 minus 10,000 is equal to 0. Okay. This is one good question. Okay, now we'll take on some more questions. Now the next question: the present population of a town is 4,80,000. It is increasing at 5% every year. What is the population for 3 years? Right. So increases same percentage. It is just like an R percent given. So let's see. Formula is same. It is in a way, if you understand the amount formula, amount is equal to principal 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. Simply, it is simply that thing. So let's put in the formula. You can this is present population, say P0, and which is 4,80,000, which is given, and let P1 be the new population after 3 years. So let's put the formula. P1 is equal to P0 1 plus R upon 100. Just remember this formula to the power n. Same, you can just imagine this as amount only. So basically, how much is the increase in the population if it is 5% every year? So that such questions can be done this way. So you just put 4,80,000. 1 plus rate of interest is how much? 5%. Power of 3. 4,80,000. P1. 80,000. 105 by 100. Okay, 3 times. we do the calculation, answer put in over here. So the method to solve these questions, first you simplify this always. So this is by 5, 21 by 20. Because when you simplify and you cut, the multiplication becomes much simpler. So first of all, you cut these 3 zeros and you cut these 3 zeros here. So it's 480, right? 480 into 21. Okay, let's see, 246. Or we can say 21 by 2 is how much? 10.5. Okay, let's take it 21 into 21 into 21 upon. Now the next question, the present population of a town is 4,80,000. It is increasing at 5% every year. What is the population for 3 years, right? So increases same percentage. It is just like an R percent given. So let's see, formula is same. It is in a way, if you understand the amount formula, amount is equal to principal 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. Simply, it is simply that thing. So let's put in the formula. You can, this is present population, say P0, and which is 4,80,000, which is given, and let P1 be the new population after 3 years. So let's put the formula. P1 is equal to P0 1 plus R upon 100. Just remember this formula, to the power n. Same, you can just imagine this as amount only. After, so basically how much is the increase in the population if it is 5% every year, So that such questions can be done this way. So you just put 4,80,000. 1 plus rate of interest is how much? 5%. Power of 3. 4,80,000. P1. 80,000. 105 by 100. Okay, 3 times. Yeah. If we do the calculation, answer put in over here. So the method to solve these questions, first you simplify this always. So this is by 5, 21 by 20. Because when you simplify and you cut, the multiplication becomes much simpler. So first of all, you cut these 3 zeros and you cut these 3 zeros here. So it's 480, right? 480 into 21. Okay, let's see, 246. Or we can say 21 by 2 is how much? 10.5. Okay, let's take it 21 into 21 into 21 upon 2 into 4, 4 into 2 into 3. 2 into 22 is 2 into 3, 6. Okay, 6 into 2, which is 8. So this is upon 8, right? Is that okay? 3, okay, 480, yeah, and 3 years, right? So this is 60 into 21 into 21 into 21, and this will be this 91 into 61 into 60, which is 2 by 6. One will add 0 then in the end. Let's take the 0 initially. So I'm doing 961 into 6. Then we'll 1 0 already placed. We got 60. 9 2 0. 6 to the 12, 15. 9 0 54, 155. 5 5 6 6. 5 5 6 6 and 0. I think the answer should be 55660. Okay, fine. So this is correct. This is the answer for this question. So basically same like so this is 9 to 6 into 60, which is 5566 5566. I'm sorry, 3 5s here. 555. 55566 55566, and then 0 was also there. That was 60, right? We did for 6, so yes, it should be 555660. This is the P1 or the population after 3 years. Now let's do the next question. How much will rupees 25,000 amount in 2 years at compound interest if rate for successive years are 4% and 5% per year? Every year, so it's for 2 years, but successive years means for the first year they have taken interest as 4% and for the second year interest is taken as 5%. So it's simply a formula, same formula everywhere. Amount is equal to principal. Herein the only difference is that instead of 1 plus r upon 100 we will do 1 plus r1 upon 100 and then 1 plus r2 upon 100 because rate of interest are different. This is the simple formula. It becomes 25,000. It's successive years, right? One after the other, first year, second year. So we can directly put this if there are two different interest rates. This 1 plus 4 upon 100. This is 1 plus 5 upon 100. 25,000 into 104 upon 100 into 105 by 100, right? So 25,000 into 2, okay, and this is 50. This is 52 into by 5 and this by 520. This can be further written as 25,000 into again by 2 is 25. This is 26 into 21 by 20. This is 2,500 into okay, let's take the decimals here. So this is 2526 by 25. I think we can connect by 25 into, let's take this as how much? 10 points, 2 times the 20 and 10.5. Now this becomes, you can cut this 100 into 26 into 10.5. Better I write over here. That's 2600, right, into 10.5. Okay, let's see. 2600, 25 into 100, okay, right? This is 25, 125 and 100. So how much is this? If we just have to do this, it is 26,000 if this was by 10. It's 10.5. So which is 27,300. This is the answer. Even if you do it, it will be this only. So always apply logic. If it is 2600 by 10, you do 26,000. So it should be more than that. And if you do by 11, it is higher than that. So 27,300. If you do it, it will come like this only. If you want me to do it for 2 into 2, which is 8. So this is upon 8. Right? Is that okay? 3 okay, 480. Yeah. And 3 years, right? So this is 60 into 21 into 21 into 21. And this will be yes, 91 into 61 into 60, which is 2 by 6. One will add 0 then in the end. Let's take the 0 initially. So I'm doing 9 to 6 1 into 6. Then we'll 1 0 already placed. We got 60. 9 to the 6 to the 12, 15. 9 to the 54, 155. 5 5 6 6. 5 5 6 6 and 0. I think the answer should be 5 5 6 6 0. Okay, fine. So this is correct. This is the answer for this question. So basically same like. So this is 9 to 6 1 into 60, which is 5 5 6 6 5 5 6 6. I'm sorry, 3 5s there. Triple 5. 5 5 5 6 6 5 5 5 6 6, and 0 was also there. That was 60, right? We did for 6, so yes, it should be 5 5 5 6 6 0. This is the P1 or the population after 3 years. Now let's do the next question. How much will rupees 25,000 amount in 2 years at compound interest if rate for successive years are 4% and 5% per year? Every year, so it's for 2 years, but successive years means for the first year they have taken interest as 4% and for the second year interest is taken as 5%. So it's simply a formula. Same formula everywhere. Amount is equal to principal. Herein, the only difference is that instead of 1 plus r upon 100, we will do 1 plus r1 upon 100 and then 1 plus r2 upon 100. Because rate of interest are different. This is the simple formula. It becomes 25,000. It's successive years, right? One after the other. First year, second year. So we can directly put this if there are two different interest rates. This 1 plus 4 upon 100. This is 1 plus 5 upon 100. 25,000 into 104 upon 100 into 105 by 100, right? Into 2, okay, and this is 50, and this is 52 into this by 5, and this by 520. This can be further written as 25,000 into, again by 2 is 25, this is 26 into 21 by 20. Right, this is 2,500 into okay, let's take the decimals here. So this is 25, by 25. I think we can connect by 25 into, let's take this as how much? 10 points, 2 10 is 20 and 5 10. 10.5. Now this becomes, you can cut this 100 into 26 into 10.5. Better I write over here. That's 2600, right, into 10.5. Okay, okay, let's see. 2600, 25 into 100, okay, right? This is 25, 125 and 100. So how much is this? If we just have to do this, it is 26,000 if this was by 10. It's 10.5. So which is 27,300. This is the answer. Even if you do it, it will be this only. So always apply logic. If it is 2600 by 10, you do 26,000. So it should be more than that. And if you do by 11, it is higher than this. So 27,300. If you do it, it will come like this only. If you want me to do it for you, I will do it for you. 105, okay, into 26. So this is how much. If we would have taken for 10, it is 26,000. Let's do this way. Always you apply this logic. Plus, now if you would have done another 2600, it would be by 11. But it's 0.5. So you can just say it means 2600 upon 2, right? Which is 1300. This is how you can always calculate. This 0.5 will exactly be half. So this is for 10, this is for 11. If you add another 2600, but this is 10.5, so it's 1300. So this is 26,000 and 1,300. That's the answer. 27,300. Okay. Simple. So basically, interest, the main part. This is how you represent two successive interest rates in 2 years. If you have to calculate the compound interest. Okay, now we just move further. Some more questions. In how many years rupees 4,000 amount to rupees 5,324 at 10% compound interest? So simply they have asked you the number of years. In how many years? Principal is given and amount is given. So this principal becomes this amount at 10% in how many years? That's being asked. So this is answer 5. Amount is equal to principal 1 plus r by 100 to the power n. Okay. So just replace, this is 4,000, amount is given, okay, 5,324 is equal to 4,000 1 plus 10 by 100. So this is 4,000 into 110 by 100. Or I can simplify this further as 4,000 into 100, sorry, 11 by 10. Okay, so ultimately I put it over here, 5,324 upon, you bring this down, 4,000, getting this. That's what this right hand side I was solving. 5,324 is still there. Now I put this over here, 5,324 upon 4,000. I'm left only with 11 by 10. Is equal to 11 by 10 upon to the power of n. Because this is n, I didn't write, it should be n here. It should be n here, it should be n here. Right? Now we have to calculate this n. So I just break this. This becomes 2,000. And this becomes 2 2s are 4, 2 6 are 12, 2 6 are 12, 2 2s are 4 is equal to 11 by 10 to the power of n. Right? So this again you can break. This is 1,000. This is 2 1s are 2, 2 3s are 6, 2 3s are 6, 2 1s are 2 is equal to 11 by 10 to the power of n. Right? So I don't have space, so I bring it over here. This is what? 10 cube. This So there should be some relation of whenever you get such question. This is what 11 to 121 into 11 161. Okay, this is 11 cube, right? Is equal to 11 by n, 11 by 10 to the power of n. Simple now. So this is, you simply can write this as 11 by 10 to the power of 3. 11 by 10 to the power of 3 is equal to 11 by 10 to the power n. So you can cut this because this is a relation. If you have done exponents, there is an equal sign. So 11 by 10 gets cut, n is equal to 3. N is equal to 3. Okay. This is a good question you can get. Whenever you get such questions, see the right hand side and see the numbers which will be given to you. Will be when you actually simplify these numbers, there will be some relation. Either it could be a square, it could be a cube. So always think if it's a square or a cube. So when I got this, you also know that I was dividing by 2. Again I divide this by 2 further. I got this as 151 and 1000. Now this should click to your mind that I have to write this number in this form. So this could be written as 10 cube. So this way, whatever number you get above, there would be some relation. So this is again 11 cube. So this is 11 by 10 cube, 11 by 10 n, n is equal to 3. 11 by 10, 11 by 10 can be cut. So always, such questions will always have some kind of a relation like this. Now we move further. The compound interest on rupees 1000 at 8% per annum compounded quarterly. Okay, I think this concept I have to tell you. Same way there is a question again on compounding quarterly. Okay. See now, there is a very simple concept here. You can get two questions, biannual or semi-annual. Biannual, which means in 6 months, and quarterly is 4 months. Now, simple, the rate of interest is always per annum mentioned, rate of interest per annum, but this is basically the period, how the interest will be given. Now suppose the question is compounded annually, which means in 1 year. But interest will be given in that 1 year either biannually, which is once in 6 months. So n will be 2 here. Always remember, when it is compounded annually, but interest is given biannually. If they say the compounding has to be quarterly, which means once in 3 months, which is 3 by 12. 3 by 12 is equal to 1 by 4. This is quarterly always, and this is always half because it is once in 6 months. 6 months upon 12 is equal to half. This is the concept. Now simple logic. So let's do this question first. Instead of this, let's do this question first. If rupees 12,000 taken for 2 years at 4% per annum, such will be the question, because rate of interest will always be per annum mentioned, but compounding is the time period actually. Whenever you get compounding quarterly or compounding semi-annually, it's the time period basically. But there will be a slight difference. How this money will be given by the bank. Money will be given either once in 6 months if it's 1 year, or it will be once in 3 months. Quarterly is once in 3 months. So whenever it is a compounding quarterly, which means bank is giving you interest in 3 months, which means it is giving you 4 times. So whenever there is suppose n is 1 and they mention when they mention 4% per annum compounded quarterly, which means in that 1 year they are giving you interest in every 3 months, which is 4 times. So here n becomes 4. N becomes 4. Period. This is period. How they are giving you interest. Quarterly means once in every 3 months. So 4 times they will give you, because 12 months divided by 3 by 12. So in every 3 months upon 12, 1 by 4. Or you can say not 3 by 12. In 3 months, every 3 months it is giving you. So it will give you 4 times. N becomes 4 here. And here it becomes n becomes 2. Here goes the logic. Now let's do this question. Just remember this. Now this is the same. There is no calculation in this question. You just have to calculate the time period and the rate of interest. See, this amount taken for 2 years at 4% per annum. Our 8% is 4% per annum, compounded quarterly. The time period, and they want you to know the time period at rate of interest will be the time period and rate of interest will be for 2 years. Okay, so let's see for 2 years. N is 2. See, the logic is, if it is quarterly, if it is, this is for quarterly question. So for quarterly, same values I will do for by a semi-annual or 6 months. But right now I am doing for quarterly. Always for quarterly, R will be divided by 4. Remember this. R will be divided by 4 for quarterly. So this becomes 4%. 16 by 4 is equal to 4. And what becomes N? Very simple. Quarterly compounding, every 3 months the bank will pay you, but time period is 2 years. So in 1 year it will give you 4 times. 3 into 4, 12. Again 4 times. So what if they would have given you 5? This will be a lengthy calculation. Simply remember, N, whatever N is there, you will just have to multiply by 4. N is equal to 2 into 4 here, which is 8. So whenever compounding quarterly for 4 years or say 2 years, N becomes 2 into 4. And whatever is the interest given will be divided by 4. That's for quarterly. Same way, N4, N will be 4 into 4. And here will be R is equal to 1 by 4. Always divide by 4. 1 by 4 is the 8%. This becomes 16. Simple. Quarterly compounding. N was given 8. In 8 years, how much will be? So whenever you have to do the calculation, and they say 4% per annum, but for 8 years, right? So N will be 8 into 4. 32. Here it will be divided by 4. 16 by 4, this is the rate of interest, will be 4%. You see the difference? In quarterly compounding, into 4 will be your N. Whatever N is given into 4. And rate of interest will be divided by 4. This is for compounding quarterly. So try to understand. Very simple. This is, you can even memorize this, but the logic is very simple. In 1 year, when quarterly, and they say the bank will give you quarterly, which means it will give you every 3 months. Every 3 months. 1 year is equal to 12 months. Every 3 months means 3 months plus 3 months plus 3 months plus 3 months is equal to 4 times is equal to N. And when it comes to same logic, I am applying for biannual. Once in 6 months. Say when N is equal to 2, N is equal to 4, N is equal to 8. Right? Same way. This I have already done. Now we will do for semi-annual. Simple. Nowadays, once in 6 months, so 2 times in 1 year. But if it is N2, then 4 times. Logic is the same. Again, for this you multiply. Instead of multiplying by 4, you will multiply by 2. Multiply by 2. 4 years. In 8 years, multiply by 2. So this becomes 4. This becomes 8. This becomes 16. This is for biannual or semi-annual. Now, don't forget, now quarterly I have told you is for semi-annual. And if this is the change in N, and rate of interest will be simply divided by 2 instead of divided by 4, which was for quarterly. For semi-annual it will be divided by 2. Rate is equal to rate by 2 for semi-annual always. So these questions which you get will be based on this logic. This question was not any calculation. This question was just to calculate what will be the time period and the rate of interest. You can just get a question for 2 or 3 marks wherein these N will be given to you. You have to calculate what will be the N and what will be the time period if it is compounded quarterly or biannually. Right? Now we come to this question. The compound interest on rupees 1000 at 8% per annum compounded quarterly. Now you know the logic. See, compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. So we have to calculate the amount surely. And here the beautiful logic comes. Amount is equal to principal 1 plus R upon 100 to the power. Now let's replace the values. 1000. 1. Okay. Compounding quarterly. What happens in quarterly? 4 times. But in rate of percent, it will divide by 4. Whatever rate percent given is 8. 8 by 4. This was the logic, right? Quarterly. R divided by 4. Always. Right? This becomes 2%. You can even write this 2%. So 1 plus 2 upon 100. Okay, let it be 8 only. So just to let you know, because here it was given 8%, but compounding was quarterly, so I had to divide this by 4 to the power of n. What happens to n? N becomes into 4. Whatever n is given. What is the n given here? N is given per annum, 1 year. So 4 times, right? N becomes 4. This is number of times, right? If it was 2 years here, compounded quarterly 8% per annum for 2 years, then n would have been 4 into 2, 8. But then it is 4 only, because it is for 1 year per annum. So this becomes 1000, 1 plus 2 by 100, because 4 1 is 4, 4 2 is 8. This is 1000 into 102 by 100. 4 times, but right? This is 50. This is 51. Okay, not 51 by 50. Not 50, I can write in decimals. If we just do the decimal part, (1.02), right? So you write this as 1000 here into 1.02 into 1.02, so you can write as 1.02 to 4 times. So it will come as 1082. This will be the answer. This will be the amount, right? And now what is asked? The compound interest. Interest is the amount. This we have done the calculation for amount. Amount is equal to, compound interest is equal to amount minus principal. 1082 minus 0 minus 1000 is equal to 82. This answer actually of put for amount, but they are asking compound interest. So this is amount minus principal also, so it will be 82. Right? This is 1082 will be the answer. Right? Any doubts? Okay, so I have to proceed now further. There's one more question I have for you.